Friedrich Nietzsche's ideas are considered more relevant than ever today, due to the complex and rapidly changing nature of modern society. He was a 19th century German philosopher, poet, and cultural critic whose ideas challenged the foundations of traditional morality, religion, and society. Born in 1844, Nietzsche's work delved into the complexities of human existence, questioning the meaning of life, the role of religion, and the nature of power. In a world increasingly shaped by social media, consumerism, and the search for individual identity, Nietzsche's philosophy speaks directly to the need for authenticity and self-creation. His exploration of nihilism mirrors the existential uncertainty many feel in the modern age, making his work more pertinent than ever. Let's explore in more detail how Nietzsche's ideas are more relevant than ever. Nietzsche is well known for his critique of traditional moral values, particularly those rooted in religion and conventional societal norms. As modern societies grapple with the decline of religious authority and the questioning of established norms, Nietzsche's ideas about the death of God and the need to reevaluate values in a secular age become increasingly pertinent. His call to create new values resonates in a time when many people feel disillusioned with traditional institutions and are seeking new ways to find meaning and purpose. Central to this critique is his famous proclamation that God is dead, a statement that symbolizes the decline of religious authority and the erosion of absolute, transcendent values in modern society. Nietzsche was not celebrating this decline, but rather pointing to the profound consequences it would have for a Western civilization. He believed that, with the collapse of religion's moral framework, society would face a deep existential crisis. Without God, or a higher power dictating right and wrong, Nietzsche warned, humanity would be left to grapple with a moral vacuum, a condition he called nihilism, where life could seem inherently meaningless. In light of this, Nietzsche argued that traditional moral values, especially those based on Christianity, were life-denying and repressive. He claimed that Christian morality, which emphasized humility, meekness, and self-denial, was designed to keep individuals submissive and weak. For Nietzsche, these values went against the natural human drive for power, strength, and self-assertion, which he believed were essential to fully realizing one's potential. He saw the traditional values of Christianity as a form of slave morality designed to empower the weak and suppress the strong, curbing humanity's creative and life-affirming instincts. The rise of individualism, the questioning of authority, and the push for personal authenticity in modern culture reflect Nietzsche's vision of a world where people must take responsibility for creating their own moral compass. Nietzsche's critique challenges us to rethink what it means to live a meaningful life in a world where traditional values no longer provide the same answers they once did. His philosophy calls for a bold re-evaluation of how we define right and wrong and encourages us to embrace the freedom and the responsibility that comes with living in a world without absolute moral truths. Nietzsche called for the creation of new values that affirm life, individuality, and human flourishing. He believed that without a higher authority dictating morality, it was up to individuals to define their own purpose and meaning. This is where his concept of the Übermensch or Overman comes into play. Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, or Overman, is one of the most challenging and misunderstood aspects of his philosophy. At its core, the Übermensch represents the ideal of human excellence, someone who transcends the limitations imposed by conventional morality, religion, and societal expectations to create their own values and live authentically. Nietzsche envisioned the Übermensch as a figure who rises above the mediocrity of the masses, what he termed the herd, and embraces the potential for self-overcoming and personal transformation. Today, the concept of the Übermensch is particularly relevant, especially in light of movements that emphasize self-improvement, innovation, and pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human. In a time marked by rapid technological advancements, the rise of transhumanism, and the growing exploration of human potential, the idea of transcending our current limitations is more pertinent than ever. Transhumanism, for instance, seeks to enhance human abilities through technology, potentially leading to a future where humans can overcome biological limitations such as aging, disease, and even death. while Nietzsche's Übermensch is more focused on the philosophical and existential aspects of human transcendence. The connection to modern desires for self-improvement and reaching new heights of excellence is clear. The Übermensch is not simply about physical or technological enhancement, however. It is fundamentally a moral and existential ideal. For Nietzsche, becoming an Übermensch involves embracing the chaos and challenges of life without succumbing to despair or nihilism. Rather than looking to external sources for meaning, the Übermensch creates meaning through their actions, choices, and creative expression. This is what Nietzsche referred to as the will to power, the drive not merely to survive but to thrive by asserting one's own will and vision upon the world. In modern culture, where personal fulfillment and self-actualization are often seen as the ultimate goals, Nietzsche's Übermensch resonates deeply. The rise of the self-help movement, which encourages people to take control of their lives, achieve their goals, and strive for personal excellence, mirrors the philosophical call for self-overcoming. Nietzsche's vision of the Übermensch can be seen in the modern emphasis on breaking free from societal norms, redefining success, and pursuing authentic, self-directed lives. The idea that individuals should not be constrained by inherited traditions or limited by the expectations of others aligns with contemporary ideals of independence, innovation, and personal growth. This channel itself reflects this idea. Its entire goal is self-reflection to achieve self-improvement. Moreover, in an age where many people are questioning the purpose of life and the values that once defined societies, the Übermensch offers a powerful alternative to nihilism. Nietzsche foresaw that without religion and traditional moral frameworks, individuals might face an existential void. The Übermensch provides a way forward by encouraging people to become creators of their own meaning, to live with purpose, and to shape their lives according to their own vision. It challenges individuals to continually evolve, to embrace the freedom that comes from the absence of predetermined values, and to rise above the limitations imposed by a conventional, passive existence. Nietzsche's prediction of the rise of nihilism was one of his most profound insights into the trajectory of modern culture, as religious belief and traditional moral values began to lose their authority. Particularly in Western societies, Nietzsche foresaw that people would struggle to find a sense of meaning and purpose in their lives. Nihilism, the belief that life lacks inherent meaning or value, would naturally follow as individuals no longer had the comfort of a higher power or absolute truth to guide them. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra and other works, Nietzsche warned that the collapse of these certainties would lead to widespread existential anxiety as people grappled with the void left by the death of God. In the modern world, Nietzsche's warnings about nihilism have become increasingly relevant. Many individuals today feel disconnected from traditional sources of meaning, whether due to the decline of religious institutions, the fragmentation of communities, or the pressures of a rapidly changing, secularized society. This has led to what some call an existential crisis, where the lack of a clear, overarching narrative leaves people feeling purposeless or lost. However, Nietzsche did not simply identify this problem. He also proposed a way to overcome it. Instead of succumbing to despair, he urged individuals to confront nihilism head-on and create their own meaning. He advocated for the re-evaluation of values and for individuals to take responsibility for shaping their own lives. This call to self-creation is particularly pertinent in today's world, where many seek new ways to live authentically and meaningfully in the absence of traditional structures. Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to embrace the freedom that comes with the collapse of old values, and to view it as an opportunity for personal growth, creativity, and the development of new life-affirming values. Nietzsche's concept of the will to power, the fundamental drive he believed underlies all human behavior, offers a lens through which to understand modern power dynamics, whether in politics, business, or social relationships. The will to power can be seen in the pursuit of influence, control, and self-assertion. Nietzsche's concept of the will to power is a cornerstone of his philosophy, representing the fundamental drive that motivates all human behavior. Unlike simple survival instincts or the pursuit of pleasure, the will to power is a deeper, more complex force that compels individuals to assert themselves, shape their environment, and strive for influence and control. Nietzsche saw this drive not merely as a quest for dominance over others, but as an essential force behind creativity, self-expression, and personal growth. For Nietzsche, the will to power was about overcoming obstacles, both external and internal, and continuously striving for self-improvement and mastery over one's circumstance. In the modern world, Nietzsche's concept offers a useful lens for understanding power dynamics across various domains, including politics, business, and personal relationships. The pursuit of influence and control is evident in political struggles for authority, corporate battles for market dominance, and even in everyday social interactions, where individuals assert themselves to gain status, recognition, or influence. Furthermore, Nietzsche's will to power also speaks to the importance of self-assertion and autonomy in a rapidly evolving competitive world. It suggests that people are driven not just by external rewards, but by the desire to actualize their potential, influence their surroundings, and take control of their destinies. In contemporary culture, where questions of authority, dominance, and influence play out on global and personal stages, Nietzsche's insights into the will to power remain deeply relevant, offering a framework for understanding the motivations behind human ambition and the conflicts that arise from it. His work challenges us to recognize the ways in which power shapes both individual lives and collective structures, urging us to confront and channel this force in ways that foster growth and creativity rather than mere control. Nietzsche's critique of mass culture and the herd mentality addresses the dangers of conformity and the erosion of individuality, issues that have only intensified in today's media-saturated, highly connected world. He warned that society often pressures individuals to conform to collective norms, stifling creativity, critical thinking, and self-expression. This herd mentality, as Nietzsche described it, encourages passive acceptance of dominant cultural values, or, in a more recent phenomenon, the social media bubble you are inserted into, leading to mediocrity and the suppression of the individual will. In Nietzsche's view, the masses prioritize comfort, security, and social approval over the pursuit of greatness or personal authenticity. In the modern era, these concerns are magnified by the influence of social media and mass culture, where algorithms, trends, and popular opinion shape behavior and identity. The pressure to fit in, gain social approval through likes and shares, and conform to standards of success or beauty can diminish individuality and lead to superficial engagement with life. Nietzsche encourages us to resist these forces of homogenization by embracing our own unique potential. Nietzsche's call to individualism challenges us to break away from the collective mindset, urging each person to cultivate their own values and pursue their true potential, free from societal pressures. His critique of mass culture is a reminder to be wary of losing oneself in the noise of collective opinion, and to instead seek paths of personal excellence, creativity, and self-overcoming. Nietzsche's concept of the eternal recurrence is one of his most profound and thought-provoking ideas. It challenges individuals to imagine that every moment of their lives, every decision, joy, and sorrow will be repeated endlessly, exactly as it happened for eternity. This radical notion is not meant to be taken as a literal cosmological theory, but rather as a powerful existential challenge. Nietzsche asks us to consider, if we had to live our lives over and over again in an infinite loop, would we be able to embrace it fully? In the context of modern life, where many people feel overwhelmed by routine, societal expectations, and external pressures, the idea of the eternal recurrence offers a transformative perspective. It invites individuals to approach their lives with greater intentionality, pushing them to consider whether they are living in alignment with their true selves. Are the choices we make ones we would gladly repeat for eternity, or are we simply going through the motions, driven by habit or external expectations? By embracing this thought experiment, Nietzsche encourages us to take full responsibility for our lives and to live in such a way that we would willingly relive each moment, knowing that it reflects our deepest values. The eternal recurrence also serves as a call to reject nihilism and passivity, urging us to live with purpose and meaning. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to affirm life in all its complexity, to confront our fears, and to make choices that lead to personal fulfillment and growth. This powerful concept is a reminder to seize control of our existence, embrace the present, and live each moment as if it were to be repeated forever. In conclusion, Friedrich Nietzsche's ideas remain incredibly relevant in today's rapidly changing and complex world. From his critique of traditional values and the decline of religious authority to his exploration of the Übermensch and the will to power, Nietzsche challenges us to rethink the way we live our lives. His profound concept of the eternal recurrence compels us to reflect on our choices and live with greater intentionality. As we navigate the pressures of modern life, whether through social media, consumerism, or the search for individual identity, Nietzsche's philosophy serves as a powerful guide for living authentically and overcoming nihilism. So, what can we take from this? Embrace the challenge of self-creation, live boldly, and strive to be the architect of your own life and sense of identity. If these ideas resonate with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy and how it can impact our everyday lives. Let's continue the conversation on how we can apply these timeless insights to shape a more purposeful and creative existence.